Morning everybody, this is Troy from the Do-It-Yourself World and the Off-Grid Project. Yesterday I worked on the garden pathways, opening them up, and today I'll be working on the garden pathways, filling them up. I've got here a whole truckload of free sawdust from the mill, and I'm going to start putting that on the pathways and filling up those walkways to stop weeds. So I've got some work to do. This is a serious load on the back of the truck. You just drive in, they load it for you, and you drive out. I love it. Can't get easier than that. The hard part is getting it out of the truck. So I've got to clear a spot so I can get my tailgate emptied or opened. At least it's light and fluffy. It's not heavy. Well, it's going to take a while until I can get my tailgate opened. Really light. Definitely not as heavy as the soil I worked with the other day. Just right behind me. You'll see what I'm doing. I'm not trying to fill the pathway up. We're going to have just a couple inches for now and see how much this is. That should be a couple inches when it's spread. We'll see how far a truckload goes, and if we need to we can get more. But we also have pine needles that we can put on top of that as well, so we'll see how that turns out. Well, there's that. Now I gotta get the rake and level it off and see how far we got. I'm surprised how far a truckload went. I'm really impressed. Now the greenhouse floor, I'm probably gonna put down plastic. I was thinking about cardboard, but I don't have any. So I think I'll put down plastic and then put down some of this stuff on top. Now let me level this off and see what we get out of it. And there's a decent amount left in the truck. But one thing Melanie and I were talking about, this is the ultimate mushroom grow medium. So I might get another load yet today, and we might make a mushroom grow bed. So I'm seriously considering that. Well, this is oak, mostly oak. And while they're cutting oak, that's what we can get. Whatever they're cutting for the day is what we're going to get. My only concern is that there might be a lot of tannins leaching out into the soil from the oak. But our grow beds are raised. The tannins will leak down into the walkways, and our grow beds are going to be raised. And we'll see what happens. But I'm going to get my rake, and I'm going to rake this out, and then I'll go in for a little break. But I think this is the best medium for mushrooms. So I think we're going to have a mushroom bed somewhere around here by the end of the day. Oh, I worked my back right up to the camera. Gonna look good. I think I like it a lot. Well, that's a lot, actually. I think I'll leave what's on the truck for the mushroom beds, because I still want to have my raised beds be raised. And that was actually more than I thought it would be. Now that'll compress with time. As we walk on it, we're going to compress it down. And as it rains and whatever, as we work in here and walk on it, there's some low spots I might hit. Again, definitely, there's some lower spots. But it's pretty good. I like it a lot. That will keep our feet clean while we work out here and help reduce the weeds. And then as we continue to raise the grow beds, we'll continue to raise the pathways through the years, adding on. But we're also going to put a layer of pine needles on here. Now I've been doing a lot of research for years since we moved here, that pine needles make an awesome garden mulch, and they do not really raise the acidity of the soil because they decompose so slowly that it doesn't make that much difference. So we'll try it. There's some of the sweet potatoes Melanie put in. She put them in various places around the property, and they're growing. Here's a little one starting to come back. She put them in different areas so that they had a better chance. If one place failed, another would survive. We're going to mulch around this with straw and wait for that one to come up and mulch around that with straw as well. And then when the potatoes come up here, we're going to do the same. We'll mulch them with straw around the potatoes. Good evening, everybody. It was hot, and I didn't feel like grabbing the camera. I mean, it was brutal. I finished building this bed and put boards all the way up. on the inside and on both insides. And then I lined it with plastic. Melanie helped me with the plastic. And then we backfilled it with rotting logs and wood. And then put one bale of straw on top. And that's the level we're at now. And the straw will help reduce the loss of soil right away. Over time it'll settle more and more. But for now, I can haul in what's left of our topsoil mix and put it in here, and we can start planting vegetables in our last bed, which gets great afternoon and evening sunlight, which will heat that up just before sunset. And in the colder nights, that'll help retain heat for the entire greenhouse. Actually, I don't know if it's 6 o'clock yet. I think it is, but I think I'll be alright. I think it's going to be a good greenhouse once I get the walls up. So that's what we did so far, and I think we got to call it a night because it's time for dinner. Hey everybody, right now we're on the outside edge of the hurricane. We've had alternating sun and thunderstorms and horrible humidity. It has been very, very uncomfortable. I worked a little bit on the other project I have, and I was soaking wet from the humidity in a very short time. Anyway, out here we finished up. What was that? Something moved. Out here we started putting straw on the raised beds, but the wind is blowing it around, which is to be expected a little bit. The rain has been quite heavy, and we did not have a washout like people thought. And really, I didn't know what to expect. So, that's alright. That's held up, and that's all good. Well, I don't even know if I told you I went and got more straw the other day. I got tied up on the other project, so I haven't been back here in a couple days. And I planted some vegetables in here that we had, and they're taken happily. That was 2 days ago. That was right after I finished raising this bed and put the straw in. That night I planted these. And these are growing very, very well. Very nicely. This section is incredibly good. And these tomatoes are still recovering from the transplant. And the other ones got knocked over. It's time to stake them up. And then here I put some plants in. And this section, this half, is planted with fava beans. And I finished this race. I did a lot the other day without a camera. It was brutally hot and miserable, and I just knocked it out. So I finally finished this raised bed, and I lined it with boards all the way across, all the way through, and then put plastic in it, and then hauled a load of decomposing tree and log material and filled it up about halfway, and took one bale of straw and distributed that on top, which was surprisingly enough to bring that up a couple more inches, and quite a few actually. And the rain has compressed it, so that's about where it's going to get, and that's going to hold the topsoil from sinking. And then of course if roots want to sink down into that, I have seen that people plant directly in straw, and they let it they process it for 2 weeks to get it prepared for planting directly. Well, I'm just going to throw topsoil in, and by the time the roots reach the straw, it'll be processed. And that's how it's going to work here. Let me show you what else I did the other day. There's a wire running through the land, a exterior grade wire that can be buried, and it runs up to our store. And there's an air conditioner that works, and the store has power, solar power. I ran the wire all the way over to the solar panels and up into the shop. I still have to brace that air conditioner, but I had it running yesterday morning. I did it in a rush. It was 90 degrees already, early morning, and in the sun it was brutal. So I real quick slapped that together. I did not take time with the camera because it would have delayed my extended the amount of work time, and it was just hot, really hot. So I got that in there, and I wanted to save the food, so I did it in a hurry anyway, and got the air conditioner running, and it works great. And that wire, let me show you, that runs through the land. I'm going to bury it, but I had to get that AC going urgently and quickly. So this wire, just to show you, I'm not stopping the video. I'm not going to pause the video, and I'm not going to stop recording, so forgive the shakiness as I walk. But this is just to show that the wire goes all the way across the land, all the way, and not to the house. It goes into the solar panels. And the solar power is powering the store. And the idea was, I was thinking about setting up a separate solar panel rack and separate power and everything else over there, and I realized that's going to be ugly in the yard. And so after thinking about it a while, I decided to just bury a wire and run a proper line from the solar panels I have all the way over to the shop. And then I can just add on to these as I go. And we only have one set of solar panels. Well, 1, 2, 3, but you know, this one will power everything, and it's better that way. And it's a 500 watt air conditioner, which is, this is 2,000, almost 2,000 watts of power, and a 500 watt air conditioner is not really going to put a dent on that. When the sun is shining down and beating on the panels is when we need the AC, and that's when we have extra power. So, perfect. Well, that's it for today, guys. Solar powered air conditioning in our off-grid store, sarishop.org, SARI shop.org. Find Asian groceries online and have them shipped to your door at good prices too, I have to say. So check it out, guys. I'll put the link down below. And it is truly off the grid. Well, thanks for watching, guys. This is Troy from the Do-It-Yourself World and the Off-Grid Project. Please like, subscribe, and share, and follow our daily videos as we strive to become fully self-sufficient and off the grid on a budget. Running our own off-grid grocery store and our own homestead, powered by the sun. That's pretty cool. Talk to you later.